So I went through a TBI clinic, and I was out in Dallas, and I was already part of Gallant Few, and we were working on building the Raider project up, and he had me out climbing, and it just kind of, a lot of things connected the dots for me, and with veterans and climbing, and it was really more about problem solving. And even one of our guys, my business partner Johnny Slicks, is like terrified of climbing, terrified of heights. But once he kind of got on the bouldering kick, he started realizing that it was more about problem solving than it was heights or climbing or anything like that. And it was just taking like a mental problem and then putting it into a physical space that you had to solve. And then, right, thank you. And that's really where it kind of connected with me. Was, we're on the wall, and where sometimes we would just quit and climb down or get down. I've got Carl going, and I'm like doing this on the wall going, I've got nothing. Like, this is a flat surface, and anybody that's gone out here climbing, like you were out here last year, anybody's climbing, like, you're just like, there's nothing here. And Carl's like, no, dummy, 1 o'clock, reach up, grab, there's a huge fat handhold. And then sometimes, and I just realized, like, that's exactly what life is. Sometimes we get stuck in a position of life where, and it doesn't have to be a transitional veteran issue, it's just life in general. Working things out with a spouse, working things out with a girlfriend, trying to parent your kids the best possible way that we can do it. We just sometimes get stuck in life, and all we need is that outside perspective going, no dude, you're not stuck. The next level to get is right there. And that's kind of what this is. So those are the concepts that I want you to think while we're going out here. And the whole goal of this is multifaceted, right? It's to have fun. It's to get away from the daily life, to have fun. 2, it's to get together with a community that a lot of you guys might not know each other, but you will by in this trip. And when you first get out, you think, I can only be friends with Marines, or I can only be friends with Army Rangers, and that all kind of fades away, and you realize that you're part of a bigger community, the veteran community, and that we're really all the same. We all tell the same stupid jokes, or crew jokes. We all think the same way. We all see civilians the same way. We all have a lot of the same stories, even if we served in different places and different times, different units. And this is the community that you can rely on, that you can truly rely on, that understands where you come from. So that's 2, and then 3, I truly hope that through this weekend, not just having fun, but the problems that you have on Friday, through this weekend, you get some tools to where Monday, they're not so big of problems anymore, and that you can solve those problems, whether it be you and yourself and your own shit, a relationship, work, whatever it is, but that you have some tools to go home and solve them.
In the Burris methodology, there are 4 main areas of life that it has you focus on, and it's love, health, wealth, and self-image. Okay, so if I were to ask you, what is one thing you absolutely must accomplish in your life in the area of love? What would that be? Maybe it has to do with loving yourself more. Maybe it has to do with the interaction with a spouse or a loved one. Maybe it has to do with being a better dad. Whatever that is, if you ask yourself in your head, what do I need to do? What must I absolutely do in the area of love? Something's going to come into your head. So what do you do? How do you put things in place to start making that a reality? And that's what Burris is all about. Same thing with health, same thing with wealth, same thing with self-image.
I've been involved with Gallant Few for several years, and when I got an opportunity to come out and see what you guys are doing with the Radar Project, I just jumped at it.
In the beginning, it was all about the climbing for me, you know, get back to what I felt like were roots that I had when I was in the Marine Corps. But once I got here, it just became something completely different.
Sometimes, you know, there's kind of commonalities that keep us together, whether it be good or bad, but just kind of a way to work through them. And it was a good opportunity to come out, hang out, just kind of like escape from everything and decompress and just get lost in just being out here and enjoying, like today, like being alive.
There's a lot of veterans who don't ask for help and don't want the help, but we all know someone who's been there, who's done that, and who's either thought about it or hasn't thought about it. We all have our own problems. If you want to talk about them, you can. If you don't, you don't. But they give you the tools to talk about them if you want to talk about them.
I definitely like the positive thinking. I think that asking yourself what you can do to change your situation as opposed to why am I in this situation is definitely something I can bring back home for myself, family, and friends.
I know some of the folks here are experienced climbers, but for those who aren't, you know, just that opportunity to live outside their comfort zone, you know, that's easily translatable to other parts of your life. You know, when you're doing something challenging like climbing, you know, overcoming that anxiety or fear, you can easily use that in other areas of your life. So, but more than that, I think the connection, you know, even just in the short time, you know, I've been with these guys, you know, you all swap info, and it's somebody else in your network that you can talk to if you need to, and if I can continue to do that for other veterans, and that's, you know, that's gravy.